Sales aren't truly sales if you don't need the item, get a cheaper haircut if you don't have savings, budget enough for your pet care. You can save so much by mindfully spending your money on things you actually need. This is Daily Living Savings Part 2.
Welcome back to My Dedication. We're continuing on with the second half of your daily living part of your budget. It starts with beauty and barber to laundry and dry cleaning. This is the second half of that daily living budget walkthrough because it is quite a large section. The whole point of this exercise is to realize that there is so much money hiding within your everyday purchases. You just need to identify and find it and put it to work for you. Instead of thinking that you can't afford to save, think of it as more of a treasure hunt within the money you already spend every month. You can't afford not to save for yourself, as we have shown throughout the first 4 parts of the daily dedication. You are now taking complete control over your spending and finding more of your money you already make to set yourself up and pay yourself first. The next item we will look into is going to the beauty salon or barber shop. These services can range from budget prices all the way up to hundreds of dollars, depending on where you go. If you are currently in debt and have no savings, you can probably guess which option I'm going to recommend. You are correct, the budget options. If you are still making minimum payments on credit card debt and don't have enough money saved to get you through the next month if you weren't able to work, you can't afford to be spending hundreds of dollars at a nice salon or even an expensive barber. Find the best value you can get and go less frequently if possible. If the salon you go to has cucumber water and their own product line up front, it's time to turn around and find a more affordable option. Yes, we all deserve to pamper ourselves once in a while, but this isn't a discussion when you have to prioritize getting out of debt. Chances are, no one is going to be able to tell where you went to get your haircut, so don't waste your money. Make it simple and don't pay for extra services or products whenever possible. The next section is about toiletries. These are needs for everyone, but you do have some control over what you spend here. Soaps, shaving cream, deodorant, toothpaste, and everything else can range wildly in cost based on name brands, store brands, and luxury brands. Pay attention when you buy these products and don't overpay. Use your Costco membership to buy these items in bulk, lasting you many months at a time in goods that don't spoil. If you have a problem spending too much at big box retailers, then get just what you need for the month from your local grocery store. But stick to the store brands or best priced name brand items and see what you can find on sale. No, don't just buy anything that is on sale. If you are already in need of something and it happens to be on sale, then that is a good deal. It's never a good deal to just buy something on sale if you don't need it, because there goes money you were not planning on spending. So the store wins and you're just out more money. Speaking of Costco, that's the next section on the budget. Whether you use Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's if you're in New England, or any other major membership-driven wholesaler, make sure that the cost of membership is worth your time. Get the lowest level membership because you don't need any of the bells and whistles offered at higher tiers. You just want the best prices on bulk items, saving you money over time. Simply calculate if the cost of membership will be offset by your savings over the course of the year. If the membership is $40 for the year, then in order to justify having one, you need to save over $40 on goods you already planned on purchasing. The way you lose in this scenario is if you simply go shopping more often because you want to get the most out of your membership. Again, only buy things that you need in your budget range and don't make extra trips just to get more use out of your membership, because you will end up spending far more money than needed to offset the cost of that membership. The savings on gas, paper goods, kitchen staples like olive oil and butter, trash bags, soaps and cleaners will quickly add up and justify the overall cost of the membership. But don't go overboard and purchase things that you don't need. There's so many random toys and knife sets and all sorts of things in Costco that you don't need to buy. Stick to what you need. The example I always use is when perfectly well-meaning people walk into one of these stores and they end up leaving with a brand new TV they didn't need. You've all seen those people with the cart that's flat with a giant flat screen. Most of them didn't go for the flat screen. They went for toilet paper. Yes, You may have received a great deal on that TV, but did you budget for it? And did you even need it in the first place? That's the type of reckless, spontaneous overspending that makes it so you shouldn't have the membership to start with. If you are the type of person who buys things spontaneously, without a plan, simply because it was a great deal, then you should avoid the temptation of going to wholesalers altogether. You shouldn't go shopping there because everything in the store is marketed as a great deal that is going away soon. So they create a sense of urgency surrounding the purchase of goods that you may not need at all. Remember this next time you're walking through Costco and you see a great deal for $100 on a giant teddy bear, and you just have to have it. The point here is to understand what is a need for you and just how many things are wants. In other words, things you can ignore while you save up enough to protect yourself when an accident or emergency does happen. You can buy something you didn't plan on buying because you want it. The trick is to not let it happen all of the time, and to not let it be for an amount that makes it more difficult to pay your rent or mortgage. If you are saying to yourself, oh, that $500 TV is only on sale this week, and you have to move important money around in order to get it, guess what? You can't afford it. Go home and watch your shows on the perfectly good TV that you still have. TVs are just one example. This goes for any item that you want to upgrade simply because you are bored of the one you have. Anything from furniture to appliances and electronics that you are just bored of using. If the item still works perfectly fine, you use it until it dies or becomes useless in order to put extra money away in your savings. The problem is, we are inundated with thousands of marketing messages and advertisements all week long, everywhere we go. None of these messages say, hey, today is a great day to treat yourself to more money in your emergency account. Try to find me a billboard or commercial or sign at a sporting event that says that. Since we are never told by advertising to save for an emergency, most people just don't do it at all. Even when you go to your bank, chances are no one is telling you to save more in your emergency account. Instead, they tell you to open a CD. It's a waste of money. It doesn't even keep up with inflation. It's a joke. Or apply for another line of credit, which will just put you into more debt if you're not responsible. Big bank savings accounts offer interests of a fraction of a percentage point, so don't even waste your time with major bank savings accounts. The big banks are in business to make as much money off of you as possible, so stick to credit unions, which are member-owned nonprofit entities with the same benefits as big banks, but they actually look out for your best interests. There are many online banks as well offering interest rates above inflation that you should consider for your emergency fund money. I recommend using a credit union's high interest savings and setting up automatic deposits into this account and making sure you do not have debit card or online access to the money. This makes it so you have to physically walk into a branch to withdraw any money, giving you a cool-off period to truly weigh if the situation is justified as a true emergency and not just another want. I will go into more detail on the exact accounts you should consider opening for your emergency savings later in this series. I will continue to tell you the how-to when it comes to everything by walking you through the exact steps and exact accounts at what institutions you should consider. Setting up your emergency savings on automatic deposits will ensure that you take yourself and temptation to spend that money out of the picture. The next item in the daily living category is tuition and continuing education. You would have to be living under a rock to not hear anything about outrageous levels of student loan debt in this country. I won't get into insanely high costs of higher education right now. Just be sure that you do not go into an amount of debt that will never be able to be paid back in your lifetime. Some BA degree programs at leading and not leading universities cost well over $200,000 for a 4-year program, not to mention room and board costs. You must truly think about the benefits of these programs, and if you intend on using the credential you earn to make enough money to pay back the loans and the debt that you accrue. If you are just going to school for a college experience and to find yourself, think hard about that choice because your debt will not go away. And that's an expensive way to find out you like playing frisbee and playing drinking games. Education is wonderful. I'm a huge proponent of education, as you can see from my interest in helping people learn how to take control of their finances. It is important to understand your options and the direct benefit gained from the education you are paying for. In other words, don't go to college just because everyone else you know is doing it. What if you are better suited doing a trade, apprenticeship, or working right away to get experience in a field that will benefit you more in the long run. Taking on that considerable amount of debt just because you think you have to, or your parents want you to go to a certain school, or people tell you that student loans are good debt, are not good enough reasons to go to college or any higher education program that costs as much as a home purchase. Consider all of your options and shop around for your education just like any other major purchase in your life. It's incredible how many students and even friends of mine go to school just because that's what they were supposed to do. Some of those friends still have over $100,000 in debt from those 4 years, and they work in fields entirely opposite or unrelated to any major program that they went through. For example, I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in music from Wesleyan University in Connecticut. Wesleyan is a top liberal arts school in the country, but the difference is I received many grants and assistance from the FAFSA program, making the portion of my family and I were responsible to pay well under $30,000 for the entire 4 years. If I had to pay the full cost of admission, I would have never gone to that school because it does not make financial sense. And guess what? I couldn't afford it, and I didn't want to put that on my family. So I have a degree in music, work in restaurants, and became a certified financial education instructor so I can properly help empower others through financial literacy. My school loans are paid off. I own my cars in cash. I own a reasonably priced home that my fiance and I love, which we pay extra toward principal, cutting a 30-year mortgage in half. And I have a fully funded emergency account with no credit card debt and fully maxed out contributions to our retirement accounts. I'm not saying these things to brag. It's to show you that you can leverage your income from any field to reach success because it doesn't matter how much you make. It matters how much you save. Being overly weighed down by student loan debt can substantially delay your other goals. So you need to weigh your education options carefully and avoid the higher price tags. Just because you get into an expensive school does not mean you need to go there. And you need to consider how that debt will affect the rest of your life. Continuing education, such as certificate programs, apprenticeships, internships, classes of any kind that increase your knowledge on a topic important to you, or any way you can continue learning without throwing off your entire financial future, are highly recommended. If there is something you want to learn or you want to make a career change, then carefully consider the costs associated with the credentials necessary to be proficient at your new endeavor. Pay careful attention to what programs you are purchasing and make sure they are reputable, with many real reviews from satisfied students. Don't follow a guru to Vegas for a seminar on life coaching, only to find out that you need to spend $2,000 to reach the next level or tier of mentorship where they will reveal the true secrets to success. Yeah, their success rides on collecting $2,000 from unsuspecting people looking for answers. Here at My Dedication, we want you all to succeed, but we want to do that by giving you the tools and education necessary to take your entire financial picture into your own hands. My passion is teaching financial literacy, and I'm here to help as many people as I can to build a solid foundation and automate a successful future once those good habits are built. That is what this entire series, our website, and everything that I do is all about. The ethical coaching of financial habits to better your life. I'll never recommend a product that I don't personally use, fully believe in through real-life testing, and we will never try to sell you insurance products just because we gain commissions. In fact, our entire insurance section is there just to make sure you are protected from accidents, and we don't make any money from any of the companies that we recommend. The next item in your daily living category is daycare and after-school care. These programs are very expensive, but to a lot of parents necessary to give them the time to work and have a safe place for their kids before or after school. These costs are a need for many families and must be in your budget so other areas of your life are not affected negatively by the money going to these programs. Just like with everything else we have examined so far, try your best to shop around for the best reviewed daycare programs that are somewhat affordable for your situation. The safety and health of your kids is the most important thing here, so no need to find the cheapest option if it is a bad one. Do your homework on these programs throughout your area I picked the best one that meets your needs and doesn't cost another tuition payment. For your pets and all of their needs, consider budgeting more money than you know you will need, because just like with humans, accidents will happen and at the most inopportune moments. I have been greeted by a bloodbath all throughout the house because my dog lost a tooth playing too rough with the other dog. I have had a skunk spray our dogs and they got the smell into every corner of our new home. Dogs have gotten sick with serious illnesses, cancers, and horrible things that you just want to help fix without going into debt. The best way I have found to keep pet costs down is by getting pet insurance as soon as possible. There's an entire section on pet insurance in the first section, Insure Yourself, and the accompanying web series, so please don't overlook this important step. It will save you thousands of dollars in the long run and allow you to give your pets the care they deserve without putting you in a bad financial situation. Other important things that you can do to mitigate pet costs is to get them on a vet plan like the ones offered at Banfield Pet Hospital. These plans allow for unlimited office visits, dental care, discounts on medications, and so much more, making it much easier to care for your pets because you don't have to weigh the option of going to the vet every time because it costs too much. You can go in for any ailment and get professional expert advice. They even have 24/7 pet chat services over their app to help answer questions in the middle of the night or to save you a trip to the clinic. Get the best food for their diet that you can budget for and afford. And make sure you are up to date on all treatments, vaccinations, heartworm prevention, and anything else your pet needs for a happy and healthy life. They need your help, so make sure you do everything you can to provide the best, happiest, and safest life you can. But budget for all of this and track the expenses in this section. Always budget more than you expect because the unexpected is bound to happen. The last item in this category is laundry and dry cleaning. If you need to use a laundromat because you don't have in-unit laundry, be sure to budget for this cost here and overestimate that cost so you have enough to afford it. If you need to use dry cleaning like I do for my job, find a good option near you and introduce yourself to the people working there. They will often give you better deals or just fair pricing if you are a polite and genuine human being, because they deal with people being upset about impossible stains to remove and things beyond their control all day long. So be nice and you will see the benefit. Be sure to track these costs like everything else we have reviewed so far. Look at what we've done. We have come a long way in our emergency savings deep dive, and so far have unearthed hundreds of dollars in potential savings using the money you already make. Through a little discipline, automation, and simply going through our budget sheet, you can start to understand the how and the why behind each expense. You can also see what are truly needs and what can be given up because they are just wants. You can make big sacrifices if you need to get out of debt and fund your emergency account. And you can make smaller sacrifices as you gain complete control of your money. Thank you for watching our deep dive series on emergency savings and how to find the money. This completes step 4 of the daily dedication. And if you have made it through each step using our video series, just look at how far you have come. In step 1, you learned about the actual insurance products you need to secure your life and keep you safe, and how to get those policies for the best cost, and what the policies are even about. In step 2, you built a full zero-based budget, brick by brick, learning how to budget to create freedom and not restriction. In step 3, you became a debt destroyer and learned how to snowball yourself out of debt and put credit card debt far, very far, in the rearview mirror. In step 4, you learned how to use the money you already make in order to fully fund your emergency account, so you become your own best protection against whatever life can throw your way. These first 4 steps of the daily dedication are foundational and fundamental to reaching financial freedom. You now have the tools, the mindset, and the discipline to move on to the next steps of the daily dedication. Armed with these foundational steps, you will be able to turbocharge your savings, automate everything in your financial life, and put your retirement savings on cruise control. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Here at My Dedication, myself and this team are here to show you the how-to and the why behind everything we recommend and teach. We want to ethically show you the best ways to reach financial freedom and we promise to help you do just that, step by step, brick by brick. In our next video series, we will be tackling the next steps of the daily dedication, but also creating video interviews illustrating real people's situations, short videos on a full range of the most asked personal finance questions, and creating videos based on your actual comments and personal stories. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and you deserve to live debt-free. If you appreciate these videos and enjoy what you have seen, please tap that like button and subscribe. That way, we can keep you up to date on every step of the daily dedication and help create a community of empowered people in complete control of their money. I'm Daniel Henry. Thank you for joining us. Stay dedicated and be a deadbeat.